Shalom, Israel, with the practical knowledge. Been on these streets since the year 1961, trying to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true history. Right? In today's lesson, we will be covering the names of Abawaf and Nawa. In the Hebrew, this is Abawaf Nawa. Abawaf Nawa, or our fathers. Abawaf Nawa is our fathers. Everybody is familiar with this word, Abba Nawa. This is our Father, which are in heaven. Right? Abba Nawa, our Father. Abba Waf Nawa. Right? Abba Waf is plural in this instance for fathers. The Waf makes it pluralized for whatever reason. Right? Abba Nawa is our Father singular. Abba Waf Nawa would be our Father plural. Right? So we're going to get into this, but we're going to start from the beginning since we're starting with our parents. We've been in talking to give Officer Aishayala a hand. Right? That brother's coming in strong. That brother every week has been, from what I'm seeing, is making sure you're abreast for what you're going to go into the next day in Sabbath service. And give that brother another round of applause, because that's the spirit. That's how you should be doing it. That's every right. Hebrew. Salaki?
That's right.
Khan, every Hebrew class should be the way it was taught to me by the man who runs Sabbath service currently, Officer Sabbath service for New York. I apologize, our headquarters currently. Give a shout out to Officer 5000 Kawagabar. Right? Basically, as it was explained to me, today is the day you freshen up your Hebrew and practice your Hebrew so that you can show off what you learn tomorrow. And what better way to assist students in being able to do that than giving them the tools they need Friday for what they're going to be doing on the next morning on Sabbath. Right? So now, tomorrow rather, you're going to be finishing up, from what I've heard, Genesis the 29th chapter, which goes into the birth of the sons, as well as Jacob, the birth of the sons, really, and Jacob's last dealings with Laban. So today, in honor of that, we're going to go over the name of each son. I don't believe you'll get every son tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and give you every son of Jacob today. Okay? Even the adopted ones. Okay? So now we have Abba Nawa. The title of this class is Our Father. For those that don't know, this is Lashawan, Qadash, Holy Tongue. Okay? Right? This is our language, the Lashawan Qadash. If anybody's having trouble or has an issue reading, just let me know. I'll try to assist you and fix it. Okay, Shalom, Shafwan. You got any questions? Just let me know. Khan. So we have the Holy Tongue. The first person we're going to get in this is Adam, or Adam. Salaki, sir, if you could, blue letter. Khan, when you get a chance. Blue letter for Adam. Okay, that would be the first name we're going through. We're going to go through the name Adam. Adam is our forefather, the first civilized man. He is not the first literal man on earth. He is the first man with civility. Right? So now we're gonna erase this. Okay. Right. We're gonna write Adam. Adam. And we're gonna get the breakdown of the name Adam. Okay. Let me know when you have it. Let me get. Okay. If you can go to the. If you can go to Genesis. What is that? 2 and. Hold on. I want to say Genesis 2 and 6. 2. Yeah, Con. Okay, because I want to show exactly what Adam is. Right? Yeah, Con. That's it. Go to tools. I'm sure. Go to the interlinear. Oh well, can you screen share that? Oh yeah, click on it. Con. Got it? Ooh. So go down. Now as you can see right there, what is it? Go up, go up. Yeah, right there, the ground, where it says the ground. Click on that one. H27. Yeah. Well, click that. Yeah. The middle. H27. H27. Yeah. That part. Okay. Now, this is where Adam comes from. Adamah. In Hebrew, you have the. In Hebrew, you have the ma. Right? Now this is referred to as what we refer to as the subservient. What our oppressor calls feminine. I'll put that in quotations, right? What our oppressor would call the feminine. This is the subservient of Adam, meaning from the dust or the ground. When you look it up in the Hebrew, Adamah, right? Sorry, let me just pull it up big. Adamah, right? It even tells you it's what would be called a feminine noun. Ground, land, ground, a piece of ground, specific plot of land. Adamah, okay, means basically from ground or just ground. Now, when you understand Hebrew and understand how names work in Hebrew, you get an understanding of how, names don't actually, your name can be a phrase, but your name is not the whole phrase. Your name is one word out the phrase. Like, God, if you could go back to the verse and read it. God. And let me pull it in Hebrew so I can read it in the Hebrew. Okay? Like, I'm going to give you 2 examples of what I'm talking about. Your name can be a phrase, but your name is not the phrase. Okay? This is 2 verse 7. Okay, I got the interlinear on my phone.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. That's Adam's name. I par man ha Adama. Obviously, since it's a male, you're going to you're going to drop the subservient. And yeah, I par man Adam. I par man Adam. That's too long of a name. Adam, the dust. But it's understood that Adam's name means up from the dust. Now, though we're covering fathers, in the spirit of what we're talking about, if you could, sir, let me get Genesis 3 and, let me see. 3 and 20. Now let me get that in the Hebrew to make sure I'm saying it right. Okay. Okay, so you understand. The next person we're going to get is Eve. Like I said, we're not going to do all the mothers today, but we might do a few. All right? Okay, now read Genesis 3 and 20. Eve's name, just so we're clear, is completely butchered. I don't know how you got Eve from the Hebrew translation of her name. If you could, sir.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 20.
Right.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living.
She was the mother of all living. Meaning, in Hebrew, that would be Amakal Kaya. Amakal Kaya. Mother of all life. Technically. Right? No, that's not her name. No one referred to that woman as Amakal Kaya. We refer to Eve as Kawa, which basically just translates to living. But it's understood that it's mother of all living. Right? Your name can be a phrase, but the entire phrase does not have to be your name. We're going to get into that later because there's like one or two brothers with similar, Shemaiwan. His name, you just listen. That is not actually what his name is, though. Okay, so now you have Adam, and I'm going to write these in the Hebrew for you, in the ancient and the Assyrian. Adam. Okay, yeah. Adam, right? Which means up from the dust. Adamah. I'll write that down here. Space. Salakia. So we're aware. I'm not doing it here, but the Tanakh itself refers to Adam in Genesis as Hadam, which would, I guess, translate as the man. They translate it as the man. Adam. Adama. Adama. Wait now. Adama. Right? Adama and Kawa. Kawa is simple. Kawa. So this is Adam, which comes from Adamah, ground, and Eve, which comes from life. Eve comes from life. which is Kaya. Right? That's supposed to have two A's in Kawa. Kawa comes from Kaya, which is life. Okay. So you're not confused. This is Kaya. And this is Eve. Right? Okay. So these are our two right here. We got Adam and Eve. Adam, which means up from the dust, and Eve, which means mother of all living. But their exact names just mean the ground and living. That is literally what their name means. Okay, so next, we're going to get into the next couple. Elderly couple. Well, actually, no, we're going to deal with one cat. We got one guy in between them. Okay. Let me get him. You should probably know where he is. Okay. Next is knock. Okay. So I'm gonna erase Adam. We're gonna do knock next. Knock. Or actually, more accurately. Can I see that good? No,
Not this. No. What was you using before?
the same one.
Oh. The blue one has been working fine.
Okay. Okay. Knock. I should do it. Salakia. Noah. Noah is rest. Knockout. Okay. And the Hebrew is knock. I have a brother in the school with that name. Knock. Knock. Oh, yeah. Knock. I hate Syrian. I really do. Okay, knock. Since we're only going through our fathers, I'm not going to bother worrying about anyone else's. So obviously, the next person we're covering is his son, Shem. Shem means name, title, renown. That's why all our names have meanings. Servant of God is a title. It also happens to be my name. Determined is a title. It's also a brother's name. Mhm. You got a title for being somebody who remembers. That's also a brother's name. Right? That's where that spirit comes from. And Shem in Hebrew is Sham. We out. Sham, Sham. Right? Sham. Come. Next, in this lineup, we have his descendant, Heber. Heber is remembered for the event that happened during his lifetime. The Tower of Babel and the splitting of the languages. Heber means hast. This is how you would write Sham in Hebrew, pronounce Sham. It's Sham, not Yakam. Past, right? Or old school. Okay, now I'll put this in abbreviation so you understand. That's really what Hebrew means. When you say you are a Hebrew, you're saying you're from the past, but the spirit of it is you're saying you're old school. You do things the way of Noah. You do things the way of Adam. You're old school. You're from the past. Right? Heber is where you get Hebrew. You didn't know? And that is I-bar. That's how you would pronounce that. I-bar. And that's I-bar. 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 I-bar means from the past, right? And that's where you get Hebrew. So we got Adam, we got Noah, or Nach, we got Shem, or Sham, we got Heber, or I-bar.
You got two questions.
Yeah, what's the first question?
Candice Nelson said, Shalom on Christ, sir. Do you have the Hebrew word for straight arrow or spear? Not to be mixed up with javelin.
Okay, Con, I could get that for you. Spear. You want specifically spear? I can find that for you by the end of the night. Just remind me. Okay. And she had another question. What was the second one?
The second one is also said, do you have the translation for kana?
Kana.
Or
Kanai?
kanai?
Kanai. You mean, are you saying it right? Like, are you saying kanai? No, I'm talking to the sister. Yeah. Sis, are you spelling that right? Are you sure it's not with a ka and not a kha? Like with the kamwa? Kamwa and not a, with a kap and not a kamwa? If you understand those terms. Kam. Meaning a ch and not a k. Are you sure? Because kanai I know. Kanai possibly could be a word, but I don't want to get the wrong word for you. So I just want to double check that before I say anything.
If you can, sis, put in the chat, okay, what you have for put it in the chat.
I'll definitely get spear for you though. Next is, as we said, he was born or around during the flood. Not the flood, I'm sorry, the Tower of Babel, which is when his son was born, Peleg. Peleg. Oh. Means to divide. Peleg means to divide. Pelag in the Hebrew. Right?
Straight you up. Be careful.
The water, I appreciate that. Because God divided the nations in that time. Pelag and Pelag, right? These are the ancestors leading up to our people. So the order. Now, let me make this look better. So we're clear. We're missing, like, most of the Adamite history between Noah and Adam. Right? We skip Methuselah, Enoch, Seth, so on and so forth. I'm just getting the prominent names that should be known and really help with vocabulary. Like Shem, you should know how to say name. Shamya Ibaja. My name is Ibaja. Wafa, and you? Mashamka. What's your name? You should be able to say that. So, Sham. Understanding what Ibaja, you say, understanding how to say Hebrew and what Hebrew exactly means in Hebrew makes sense. So we're clear, Hebrew is Ibaria. Hebrew. Right? If you ever want to make, technically, Hebrew is Hebraic. Technically would translate to Hebraic. A ya at the end of a name to denote children usually denotes like relativity. Like you're a descent, basically. You're a descent of that person and or place. So just like we're Yasharalia, Israelites, we could also be called Ibaria, Eberites, but nobody pronounces it as Eber really. It's more so Hebrew. Okay? I'm gonna leave that up there for now. I'm gonna erase Eve though. Now, we're going to get into the names closely related to us. Now we have all of our forefathers. Time trip. Oh, we got numbers for Okay, we have all of our forefathers. Yes. After him, we don't gotta do Sarah. We can skip straight to the man of the hour, Abram. Okay. Abram. This translates to high father. Now, what you have to understand, Abaram. Okay. Now, so we're clear. When you look this up, it'll tell you straight up what's it called? This or this Ram isn't really used anymore. More than likely, there's, to my knowledge or my studying, there's certain points of Hebrew that phased out or were certain words we don't use anymore or stop being used at certain points. So that's why you'll find words like this where we're like, it's an unused root, like ram, meaning high. Usually for high is ayah, right? But in the past, it was possibly that ram was used for high in some capacity. So that's why you'll find that. Abaram means high father. Abba, everybody knows, means father. You got it up there, right? Abba means father, right? Father, right? Okay. So now, after that, the Most High changed his name, right? Everybody knows, to Abraham. And that means father of many nations. Once again, and honestly, this makes me question the usage of ha in some form. But that's a thing for another day. But as we know, the proper word that we use today for nation is goy or goya. However, in the past, for whatever reason, raham is being used in this instance to signify many nations. Right? So once again, more than likely during the time of Abraham, there was a difference in certain words that may or may not have been used. And then you have to understand, Abraham eventually left from his family, and then we as a people congregated amongst ourselves. It's possible that we developed our own way of speech to differentiate ourselves from our, I don't want to call them Chaldean, but Chaldean living brethren, for lack of a better term. Or our Syrian brothers, for lack of a better term. They still lived in Syria. Okay, Abraham, father of many nations. Let me get this in the Hebrew, in the Syrian for y'all. Abraham, father of many nations. Okay. Let me write it better for you. As online. Abraham. And then in the Hebrew, that would be written, let's see. Let me write it better for that. Abraham. 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 Abraham, right? And that means father of many nations. Right? I'm going over this because this is basic information. If you are going around calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite, I think you should know. You are a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Say that in Hebrew. You should be able to say your father's name in your native language. Now understand, everything I am saying, if you are a beginner, you have never been to class, you saw some crazy cats dressed the way I was last week, and this is all truly new to you, I'm not talking to you. This has nothing to do with you. Welcome to the truth. I hope you stay in here, you enjoy yourself. What's called. But to y'all that's been here a while, you can't count to 10, yet you know every Friday, you can literally sit here and put in the chat And me or whoever else is up here will have to sit here and teach you how. We'll have to sit here. It is our job to make sure that you know this information. You don't. It is important for you to know it. You know why? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I believe. I believe the scripture said something, sir, about study to make yourself right. We have to do that. The water, that last word escaped me. We have to study to make ourselves approved. I'm working a crazy slavery with crazy hours. Every other second I am either studying or doing something to still make sure I am knees deep. I'm always working on my craft. Like this earlier. Earlier when I was thinking about Eve, that's something I really just thought about just on the slave. Notice it's funny, nobody's name is actually a phrase. They take one word out that phrase, which is the majority of what the spirit of the phrase, and that's your name. And you need to explain it to anybody. My name, everybody calls me living, but my name is actually mother of all alive. Everybody calls me ground, but my name is actually up from the ground. Everybody calls me hearing, but my mama named me God heard my affliction. And that's how it works. You should always be studying. You should always be making yourself approved. You should, especially when it comes. Now I understand some brothers do not have the propensity to learn this quickly. That's okay. Like Officer Kowal said, what's called, I used to always ask for water. That was all I used to know how to do. All I used to know how to do is shalom, water, my shalomka. Now I learn more, and now I'm able to do more. That's how you start. My young, Baba Kusha, the water wa Baba Kusha. Baba Kusha wa the water. The water Isarka, thank you. The water Kaya Isarka, thank you for your help. And we learn these things, right? And we practice these things so that we can, it's not even that you gotta beat it in. What you want to do, you don't want to beat Hebrew into your head. You just want to phase out English. Because to a point, if you really look at Hebrew, if you really get good at it, you won't even want to speak English. Because there's too much rules that in English that really Hebrew just throws away. And it's spiritual the way the black and Hispanic man speaks. And that's the spirit that we have to take on. God.
To the sister's question, I just thought about it. Arrow is actually Qadash's name.
Khan. But spear. Let me see if we could get spear for you right quick. Because we almost done. We about to get Yatazak. And that is a beautiful one. I'm going to have you pull that in a second because that is a funny one. Yatazak, spear. Okay. Okay, Salakia sis. Okay, the word you're looking for. 3589. Let me just look that up. That's from Kayad. Right, cultivating to strike, crushing, destruction. Just needs destruction. Okay, yeah, basically. Okay, the word you're looking for is spear. I got it for you here. For spear, you didn't, now from what you said, sis, you did not want javelin. The word you're looking for then would probably be kayad one. I have a few instances of it here.
Well, Kanayaf.
Huh?
How about Kanayaf?
Kanayat? From where?
First Chronicles 11 and 23.
First Chronicles 11 and 23. turn that off. 2583. Hold up. 2583. Oh, okay, and that's why you're asking about Kanak or Kanai. All right. I'm gonna get this for you. So for the sister's question, for those the sister. Okay, sis. Before we go in deep, I just wanted to know what is your exact reasoning that you're asking for this. Uh, what is the exact reasoning, sis, that you're asking for that? Kana. Go down. Kana or Kanai? Because it seems like you already had a verse in mind. I don't know if you're asking maybe for what's it called? I don't know if you're expecting somebody or something and she wants a name for that. If that's the case, definitely go to your heads, but I can assist you if there's a name in mind, and I can assist you with that as far as getting that, so you can bring it to the head. But always, for anybody looking to do a name for a student or even their own child, you definitely want to go to the school to get it approved by the scholars inside of here. Once the oil touches head and it is said 3 times, that is your name. You don't want to accidentally name your wife Creature. Because understand, a language is different in another language. Words are different in other languages. Here's what I mean. Kind don't mean kind always. Like your wife is kind. You accidentally named your wife Creature, like a kind of animal. That's why it is important to get all names clarified through the school.
You could finish just
John, so as soon as you get that, sis, we'll get back to that. I basically, kana is a root word for one of the words for spirit, which is why she's asking. I just want to get a better understanding of why she's asking. So once you get that for me, sis, I can better assist you with that. Now, where did I put the ah? Okay, now, if you don't know who's next, please tell me your city in the chat. You don't even got to tell me the camp leader. I'll figure that out, and I'll call it myself. I'm playing with y'all. I ain't special. Okay, what is that? Genesis, I want to say 15. Nope. So give me Genesis 17. And 15. Now, I'm going to teach y'all a very, very, very valuable lesson.
Genesis 17 and what?
15. We serve a real God. Yeah, that's good. Well, I wanted you to read the verse. You good for leave it there because I'm gonna have you look at the interlinear.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 15.
Now,
and God said unto Abraham,
right?
As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. You have 15 or
15.
Okay, yeah, keep going. You will not call her Sarai, but Sarah.
Shall her name
Okay, do I want to break it down? Basically, Sarai is diminutive, meaning somebody who's manageable. Sarah is princess. So they're somewhat similar in a way. One inspires royalty. Keep going. Verse 16. Yeah,
Verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her.
Right? So Sarah is going to give Abraham a son at 90 years old. Keep going.
Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
She is a mother of nations. That's why her name is princess. Right? Keep going.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Verse 19.
No, you skipped 17.
Oh, so like it.
Yeah, definitely. That's the point we want.
Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed,
right,
and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
Now, how do I explain this? He, in this instance, didn't think that was possible because that is something very extreme. An old woman is going to have a baby. You know how rare that is? A 90-year-old woman, and her husband's 100. And they're about to make a baby. Right? So he thought it was a good idea to laugh at God. Can you pull up the interlinear Bible Shara? And here's the thing, we serve a living God. And sometimes, while he will be insulted at that, he has other ways of dealing with you too. Go down. Yeah, Con. Go to that left. Hit the H, yeah. Now this word is tazakwa, right? Meaning to laugh, to mock, to sport, or to play. This word has many far-reaching applications, from play fighting to children playing to being friendly with your wife. That's actually in the Bible, with Isaac, interestingly enough. Says Isaac sported with Rebekah, and that's what let them know that's not his sister. I wonder what type of sporting they were doing. But right? So you have this. Abraham thought it was a good idea to laugh at God. Give me verse 18.
Verse 18.
Yeah, can go up. Yeah. Just exit. Exit. Yeah.
And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
Yeah, God, what's called? Abraham, being a loving father, wanted his oldest to get it. But here's what God said.
Verse 19.
Right.
And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
And keep going.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
Isaac. Now give me that in the interlinear. Let me see what Isaac looks like. Go down. There's his son. His name, Yatazakwa, right? Yatazakwa, which means he laughs. Okay? Isaac means he laughs. Yeah. Sazak. Right? He laughs. Watch what you do around the Most High. He does not take things like that lightly. Yatazakwa. He laughs. Right? Oh, shucks. Good time. Y'all, y'all. Ya. Tizakwa. Ya. Tizakwa. Ya Tizakwa. Right? And that's, let me redo this. These notes look horrible. We're gonna get to these. Ya. Tizakwa. And ya. Tizakwa. Ya Tizakwa, Ya Tizakwa. And it means he laughs or he will laugh. Right? Because you insulted me. Oh. Like, and that's, like, imagine, like, there's certain things that's so Jake. Like, a cat laugh at you, so to show him you're nothing to laugh at, you tell that cat, you gotta name your child, he laughs, for you laughing at me. Like, that's something a Jake does. Us as a people. Like, a cat come at you sideways. Cat. I'm bugging up today. Ooh, Salahi, y'all. Yadzakwa. Yadzakwa. Right? Isaac. Meaning he laughs. And now lastly, let me get Genesis 25 and 25 before we get into these guys. I might just cover Leia's kids, don't worry. Depending on how much time I have. Because like I said, he's not going to get through. I checked. He said he's in 29 still, so he shouldn't even get through all the kids all the tribes tomorrow. So, and I don't even think what's it called? Yeah, I don't even think Joseph and Benjamin was born that early. They ain't mess with the what's it called? But I gotta talk to somebody about that. We just need the name, so we're not even gonna go through all of that. Let me get 26, Bible Shah, verse 26. So, 26. If you've been in this class before, or you may have heard of something called an Edomite. Have you heard of that term, sir, before? I think we've mentioned it once or twice, right? Yeah. A few times. Yeah, Cal, you might have heard us call somebody a dirty one on the street years ago. Yeah. But long of the story short, red people live in caves, totally not the so-called white man. Long of the story short, there's the birth of our father Jacob. Okay, the younger brother of Esau, the second son of Isaac and his wife Rebekah. Right? The grandson and inheritor and successor of the promise given to Abraham and Isaac. We have Jacob. Okay, keep going.
Genesis 25 and 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
Heel.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Now, This is the official translation. His name means Yaiquab. Iquab is heel. Iquab. Yaiquab, it might be a verb. Iquab may function as some type of verb, which he does something. Long of the story short, here's the spirit of it. A supplanter. But, Bob Bashar, if you could, let's make another tab for thesaurus.com. Supplanter is such a big word.
What is it?
Thesaurus. THE. Yeah, thesaurus.com. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Type in supplanter, SUPPLANTR. Supplanter. Now, when you go and screen share that. When you go, right, and you look up that, because I know that's a big word, supplanter, and it's not commonly used in English, right? You go and you find the best matches for it. But a lot of these are terrible. To supplant does not have anything to do with substitute. Let me see. Agents, alternate, assist, changeling, expedient. Close it. Go to another website. Supplanter. A supplanter takes over or takes the place of someone else, usually on purpose. That's not a substitute. Okay, a supplanter. See if you can get the synonyms. It'll show you. Yeah, go to vocabulary.com. Meanings and synonyms. Go down. Synonyms. Usurper. That's a good one. See more? Oh, down. Go down to see more. Oh.
Offender, wrongdoer, claim jumper.
Okay, so they go back to the supplanter.
So claim jumper,
One
who illegally occupies property to which another has a legal claim.
Right. Now, here's what you have to understand. This was written by I won't say necessarily this was, but I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to get it so you see it. Go back, because there's a specific word that go back to the supplanter, one page. Now go down to synonyms, see what it says, see more. Supplanter, fascist, usurper, hypocrite. Okay, we'll use hypocrite. Because of this man and his name, most places you find this word are negative. Here's the thing. Is George Washington and the American Revolutionary supplanters? Absolutely. Would anybody in this country who actually likes it, consider them supplanters in the negative aspect that they do? They wouldn't. A supplanter at heart is just somebody who takes another person out of power. But because it's us, and because it's our history, Jacob has to be evil. You sold your inheritance for soup. I'm sorry. Your daddy's stupid. My daddy was smart. That's it. Why do I bring this up? When you look up Jacob, you get words like trickster, schemer, right? These really ain't so true. Jacob was not a trickster or a schemer. Jacob just saw his brother was stupid. How do I say it? I believe I've said this before. I'll gladly starve for a business. You telling me I get God? It's not a business. It's not I get all of Dad's sheep. I get God. My father made a contract with God. And I'm going to sell that to my little brother. I didn't trick you. You got your soup. It's not like I said, you sell me the birthright. Okay, here's the birthright. And this is my soup now. I gave you the soup. You got your soup. Shut up, eat the soup. That's it. No one was tricked. But however, you will be overthrown. This is what a hustler is. This is a supplanter. These two words are the same. An overthrower is a supplanter. And lastly, the one I personally like, a hustler. That's all I did. They try to put this in an evil vein, but a hustler is just someone who sees my house can get ahead doing this. You're stupid enough to sell me your inheritance for soup. Mind you, this isn't some regular cat out on the street. This is a man I've known my entire life. I knew he was this stupid. I realized he was this stupid probably when we was teenagers. I never swindled you. I just waited for an opportunity to get what I needed. And guess what? You're not special. I saw an angel on the side of the road. I fought him all night because I'm a hustler. I do what I have to do to make sure me and mine get mine. And that's what Jacob means. Has nothing to do about him being a trickster or a schemer. He didn't trick nobody. He didn't scheme nobody. If anything, people tried to trick him. You tried to give me the wrong wife. Now you ended up broke. Lost all your sheep and your daughters. Okay, and now speaking of the angel, we ain't gonna get into the story for time's sake, but last but not least, Lashawan. We'll erase all of this. Yeah, like I said, what time we got?
It's 8:30.
Okay, yeah, so we'll probably just do Leah's first few children, I believe, and probably all right, Salakia, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna start off first. Israel, Prince of Power. I'll put so we're clear that's just God. God/authority, which is all that word means. Yashra. Okay, and then that would be spelled in the Hebrew Yah Shar Ah. Yashar, okay. Shar Allah. He is, which comes out to technically, he is, Prince of the Power. The Yah symbolizes he is Prince of the Power. Okay? So we're clear on what that means because I kind of broke it down. Our Father. So we can go back to the story of Jacob and Esau. So
you say he is?
He is the Prince of the Power, yeah.
What, with the ha in the front?
The Yah, come. The Yah, come. Yeah. Right. So we can go backtrack so we're clear on what exactly this means and what the spirit of it. Like I said, his initial name, his what you would call carnal name, was hustler, was supplanter. I'm going to put myself on top. I'm going to be above, right? That was his spirit. That was who he was. To the point, like I said, this man fought an angel. And you have to understand the King James is a product of its time, meaning certain words have certain spirits yesterday that they do not no longer have. More than likely in 1611, wrestle actually meant to scrap. But today, wrestle could possibly mean something much less, I don't want to say violent, but restrictive.
Aggressive.
Much less aggressive, right? You might think of what Esau does on the mat. That's not what he's. No. If you do not bless me, you're going to get punched in the face again, Mr. Angel. I understand you're an angel. That's why I'm punching you in the face. You have the ability to make sure my son is Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. Yes. Yes. You're going to get punched in the face, and you are not leaving this place until my son is Tiger Woods, my other son is Michael Jordan, and Joseph can protect all of Egypt. That he saw and understood, if you bless me, no one can mess with my children. His brother was an idiot. What good is an inheritance to me if I die? I will wrestle angels. A nigga who can, you're dead. I don't care. At the end of this fight, my son will be the greatest at whatever he does. You know how crazy it is to be Tiger Woods' daddy? Can you imagine you're Tiger Woods' father? You're like, what the hell is this child? Like, where did this child come? What black person you know play golf? But if we knew and understood our history, yeah, that's a J. Yeah, that's, what black person plays golf? This one. Yeah, God finally gave us one. We'd understand that understanding our truth and understanding the scripture is understanding this. Our ancestor fought an angel and strengthened a contract with God so that whatever we do turns to gold. So that when magically, out of nowhere, the most whitest thing as tennis and golf, a brother and two sisters took it over. Yeah, that's Israel. That's how our people operate. Right? We are the prince of the power, and it showed in one generation. This man's son, the baby, was vice president of the most powerful country on earth. Because he wanted to slap an angel in the face. So that I could take pride in Floyd Mayweather and whatever other black boxers beating the hell out of white people. Right? This is Yasharal the Assyrian. You really should know this, especially if you're in the Old Testament. Sure. Allah. Yasharal. Okay? And that is it for the patriarchs. I'm not going to cover that. We ain't got much time. Did the sister ever get back to you? Nah.
That 25 minutes, 8:35.
Okay, so we're going to get into these names with the sons. I would do the wives, but I'm not sure exactly what Leah means, so I don't want to, what's it called? I know Rakal means ewe, like a ewe lamb, a female lamb. Rakal. The other two I'm not sure about. But, 29. So, I'm going to just, because it's half here and it's relevant to Hebrew. A tizit, you know, a fringe? Okay, maybe some of y'all didn't graduate elementary school. Maybe some of y'all didn't graduate junior high school. Maybe some of y'all didn't graduate high school. Or maybe some of you just were too excited to notice that a graduation tassel or any regular fringe is braided. Meaning when the Bible compares our hair to fringes, he's comparing our hair to braids. Which means our hair in the past was what? Not a matted knot, not a lock. It was a braid. A little bit of certain of this, like just doing this is common sense. Like really, like I'm just playing with my graduation tassels. I noticed these are braided, and then I came to the truth. No tassels braided. I know that clearly. I've seen graduation. Y'all have never seen members of your family graduate? Maybe you simple and never went to school, but nobody in your family graduated. That makes a lot more sense. I understand that now. No sweat. Stay on Facebook. Okay, Laban means white. I'm just going over a few of these, like Captain Laban. Laban means white. That does not mean he is albino. I have a pure son. He is white. Simple reason to name him white. Right? We're going to get a few of these names. Reuben. Rabban. His first son, Reuben. Reuben. Look, our son. That's literally his name. His name. We're not going to get into the story of it. We're just going to go through it. Because you're going to cover it tomorrow in class. Raw, Ban. Yeah, y'all going to cover it in class tomorrow, so it doesn't make sense to really go through the story. I did the others because you're probably not going to cover those. Raw, Ban. Look. Look. Son. That's it. Reuben. Next is Simeon. And this is my favorite just because of Juan. That's such a funny name. Like when I finally realized the purpose of Juan. Like, he's like, without Juan, like without it, Simeon. Meaning technically affliction, heard, or God hears. And it's basically the same. Damn, I'm supposed to write that in Hebrew. It's silly. So let me move this down. Like that. And this is for Alban in Assyrian. Rabban, right? Simeon. Affliction. Heard. God hears. And there's another thing you should be aware. Shemai Wan. Okay, there's another thing you should be aware of. I was thinking about this in the bathroom. I'm constantly just thinking about the scriptures. A second ago. There are certain names when it comes to, for those who aren't aware, the Old Testament and the New Testament are translated from two different languages. The Old Testament is strictly, for the most part, translated from Hebrew. The New Testament is, for the most part, strictly translated from the Greek. Why is this important to know? So we're clear, certain names, all the names pretty much are Hebrew, right? But basically what happens is that Hebrew name gets translated into Greek. The problem is that for whatever reason, instead of taking the Hebrew name back into the Hebrew, then translating it from whatever we have in the Hebrew back into its English form. They translated it from Greek into Hebrew. So what you have with a lot of New Testament names is it goes from Hebrew to Greek, and then it stayed in that Greek until the Bible was translated into the English. And then instead of going from Hebrew to English like they did with the name in the Old Testament, they went from Greek to English. For example, Simeon. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced in the Greek, but when translated in the New Testament from Greek to English, it's a small change, but because of this, certain things get confusing, and people who don't even know that tassels are braided, because they probably never graduated high school, think, oh, why do these Jews have European names? Because you're an idiot who doesn't want to get in class. That's the answer for you. That's honestly the answer, sir. That is really the answer you need. This E drops and you have Simon. What's a more important one, or one that's a lot of people are unaware of? Joshua is Hebrew to English. Jesus is Hebrew to Greek to English. Joshua and Jesus are the same name. Right? Certain times things like this become important, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's in Hebrews. Hebrews will mess you up. One verse in Hebrews is Jesus talking about Joshua. And you can blatantly tell that is Joshua because it's talking about an event that happened in history. And this is why it's important to understand these things. Why they would do this knowing that there were scholars like working on the entirety of it. Like we're going to translate one name one way and one name the other way. Another big one, Judas is Judah. If anyone ever said, "Yo, I never named my child Judas," well, the entire tribe's named after him. Sadly, it's just we don't name anybody Iscariot. Let's just do that. Because you can't get away with Judah. And now finally, what's our time, sir?
8:45.
Okay, we gotta go. Joined to me. Lawyer Levi or law? Yeah. Law is joined or joined to. The is me. Joined to me. Right? And I'm not breaking these down purposefully. One, so maybe you'll go home and read it yourselves tonight to prepare for Sabbath tomorrow. And two, because you're obviously going to read it tomorrow anyway. So you'll get the understanding of why she specifically chose these names. In case he doesn't cover it, in case he doesn't get into this aspect, Jacob was wrong. Just so we're clear. Jacob was wrong in the way he treated this woman. He was not supposed to do her like that. Yeah.
Treated what woman?
Leah. You cannot dub your wife for your other wife. The reason you know he was wrong, and I got this from Jeremiah Hyman, she won the contest. 7 from her body, like 9, including her maid. She won by a landslide. Her and her sister was fighting for that man's love, who can give the most babies. 7 from her body, 9 from her, including her maidservant. Okay? And her husband was wrong for the way he treated her. So, and with every turn, she did not be like a lot of you evil women in the world who would just leave the man. She just tried harder. Look, a son. I'm going to give him a son, he'll finally love me. God heard my affliction, because she knew it was up. She knew that what her husband was doing was wrong. Levi, joined to me, lawyer. Right? Now he'll finally be with me. Right? Let me see, what other children are born in 29 and 30? Salaki, we can get like 1 or 2 out more. Okay, that's the last one born. I'm so sorry. I apologize to my people. I sincerely do. That shows you how much tribalism I have in my heart. I didn't even know it was last. Judah. Judah's gonna be the end. I'm sorry. I know y'all going into 30, but I want to say possibly kids on equity both. Well, I got some. Okay. Why did I stop and do this? I'm gonna read it because the brother's a bit busy. This is Genesis 29 and 35. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Most High. Therefore she called his name Judah and left bearing. Now, why am I doing this? His name's Ahiah. How do you spell Judah in your made-up Hebrew? But his name's Ahiah. What does Judah translate to? Praise the Most High. But the Most High's name's Ahiah. You see the problem when you don't graduate high school? Because you never got the tassel, you don't know it's braided. Here's the thing, you don't have to be a high school graduate. We accept many of them and they flourish in here. Just shut up and learn to listen to the men of the Isupk. Praise Yahweh. Or praise the Most High. So how can his name be some higher or whatever, Shamalama Ding Dong? Like I said, a lot of this is common sense. Oh, the Hebrew word for peace is shalom. Really? How do you say Solomon and how do you say Jerusalem in Hebrew? Shalom and Yerushalayim. Neither of those contain a wow, right? Yeah, what's your point? You're stupid. That's my point. I'm sorry, sometimes I'll be away too long. So we're clear, praise can also in this instance mean thank. Praise / thank. Yahweh. Praise / thank Yahweh. Right? Just so we're clear, I'm just going to break this down so we're clear. This comes from Yadah. Yadah means praise / thank. Right? It is the subservience of Yad, which is a hand. Once again, this writes itself. This does itself. Notice, Salafi, sir. Notice, the word for hand, the word for to praise is subservient of hand. Because what do you use? You have to lift your hands up to pray. Right? And to thank. Now, anybody who knows and understands Hebrew, there's prepositions, right? Prepositions go at the beginning of verbs to let you know things. So now we know that this is the verb to thank, right? But what if I wanted to thank you? The verb preposition for you is ta. Thawad. Yada is the bare verb meaning to praise or to thank, to give praise in like a thanking manner. Yada. Thank you. Thawada. Thank God. Yah, ha, wa, da. Yahweh, Most High, praise. Praise the Most High. Thank the Most High. You know what the sad thing is? That's the second of Jacob's children with God's name in the name. Somewhere clear, Joseph or Yahusap is a shortened version of Yahusap. You can find that in Psalms. David one time wrote his name out. Right? Yahusap means the Most High adds. Yahweh means thank the Most High. There's two people with his name in it. But y'all want to say all other types of crap that we don't know his name or Ahaya is his name or some other bull crap. Because you do not know the truth. Okay, I said we would end off with Yahweh. We're about to do that now. This is Yahweh. Da. Yahweh Da, and this is it in the Assyrian. Ha Wa Da. Yahweh. 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 And that's done. So we got the first four names. There might be others you're going through tomorrow. Salakia. That's pretty much it for today. What's it called? Salakia for that. We got some others to go through, but definitely if you are in class, you're just getting in class, stay in Hebrew class. Work on, it's not about beating in Hebrew, it's about phasing out English. Try to put in a new phrase, not even once a month, maybe every 2 months. Right? And don't even take a whole phrase. If you got to take a word, water, then can I have water? Name, then what's your name? Right? Build up slowly so you build a vocabulary. Right? Another thing like they teach you in school with Spanish, get the verbs right. Get the verbs and get the verbiage. And another thing, don't worry about conjugation for now. Another thing with us about conjugation, when you study Hebrew, if you're familiar with Benjamin, a lot of Benjamin's speaking mannerisms are very similar to Hebrew. A lot of conjugation, I would say it's over conjugation in the English language. But that's pretty much it. With that, I'll pass the class over to Chris.
Clap it up, clap it up. Hosanna Christ.
Hosanna Christ.
Clap it up for the class. All right. ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other.
Right.
After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, verses 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, the next feast day that we have coming up is the Feast of Purim, which will be on Thursday, February 22nd, and Friday, February 23rd. Both days, the feast will start sundown on Thursday night and Saturday night.
Right.
Make sure you check the bulletin board in the hallway of the school. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, and war scarf or headband. A sister wants to join the school, you could contact the camp leader in the school nearest your location. With that, men of Israel, Imajam, which means to stand, Imajam Shabbat, Imajam, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai
Barakatah. To the sisters, Yahweh Shema, Al-Shem Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Son of Christ.
I know you're probably trying to get out of here as quick as possible, right? Huh?